Hello there, very good evening and welcome. This is the weekend edition of Primetime News. Well, we're coming to you live and direct this evening from our Newsfirst studios in Colombo. I'm Joel Outskun. Let's start off today with a look at our headlines.
Minister Kabir Hashim says TISA's request for a 4 billion rupee late fee will be rejected. Minister Mano Ganeshan says only a fraction of MPs are suitable to be in Parliament. 121 female inmates moved from Valikada to Angunukola Palace. Mahinda Rajapaksa reveals who brought disrepute to Parliament. Who is the cause for the split in the SLFP? Nishantha Muthu Hettigama reveals the answer.
Well, we start off with our top story this evening. 121 convicted female prisoners at the Valikada prison have been moved to the Angunukola Palace prison. A prison spokesperson Tusharu Puldenia said this step was taken due to overcrowding at the Valikada prison.
Currently, there are 521 female inmates at the Valikada prison. However, according to the prison spokesperson, only around 160 inmates can be held there. Angunukola Palace Prison Superintendent AWS Dhammika said the inmates moved out from Valikada reached the prison this evening. Until now, only 28 female inmates were being held at the Angunukola Palace prison. However, he went on to state measures will be taken to inform the relatives of these inmates of this move via letters.
Now, the launch of the SLFP Balaban for the Pandua snow area took place today under the auspices of SLFP General Secretary Professor Rohana Lakshman Piyadasa and MP Dayasiri Jayasekara.
I am with the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, but that group is claiming that Dayasiri is leaving. During the presidency of Mahinda Rajapaksa, there were 147 MPs for his decisions. If something needed to be passed, it was done with ease. Does Shirani Bandaranaike need to be put out? It was done. They had no fear to put out Sarath Fonseca or send him to prison. Today, this president does not have a power in parliament. That is the reason for the state of confusion at present. We had to work with Ranil Wickremesinghe, a leader who is always thinking of selling off the country's resources. All proposals presented to the cabinet were against the people of this country. When we opposed those proposals, Ranil Wickremesinghe used his stooges to attack us. Some continue to reprimand me, saying I should have not cast my vote. Finally, they claim that Dayasiri Jayasekara looted from the bond scam.
Following the event, the MP responded to questions posed by Newsfirst.
I am not going anywhere. Of course I can. Positions are not big things for me. I am a person who left such a position.
The former president once again responded to questions posed by the media over the New York Times expose.
He has brought disrepute to Parliament. He made a statement to Parliament saying he will bring back Arjuna Mahendran. He has not kept that promise until now. I will do it the very next day after he keeps to his promise.
Now, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe is expected to travel to Singapore tomorrow morning. UMP spokesperson Minister Harin Fernando noted the Prime Minister will be attending a summit in Singapore. Moving on with more news, UMP MP Ravi Karunanaike commented on the recent revelations on the bond scam following an event in Thotalanga today.
I cannot comment on something that I am not aware of. What I can say is that company will have to respond to this. The issue is matters that don't exist have been created. This is purposely done by 2 or 3 members in the party. I am not sure if they are using the Attorney General's department. I have no company. If they claim I do, please let them prove it. There are many others who have taken money. Why are those not being exposed? Again I ask, was the central bank with me? What is the issue?
Well, for the first time, Minister of Highways and Road Development Kabir Hashim confirmed that Taisei Corporation of Japan had requested for a late fee from the government with regards to the construction of the Colombo Outer Circular Expressway. Now, the request is with regard to a delay in the construction of the expressway between Kaduwela to Kadawatha.
On the 2nd of this month, Newsfirst exposed that the infamous Taisei Corporation of Japan, which secured the contract to build Phase 3 of the Central Expressway, contravening the accepted tender procedure, was seeking compensation of over 4 billion rupees from the government as a late fee for the Colombo Outer Circular Highway. Today, the subject minister confirmed the matters relating to the Newsfirst expose.
Kaduwela Kadawatha highway හදනකොට දැන් price එකකට ඉල්ලලා තියෙන ප්‍රමාද ගාස්තු වශයෙන් මිලියන 4ක් නේ වඩා වැඩි වගේ ප්‍රමාණයක්. ඒක ඔබතුමාලා ගෙවනවද?
එහෙම අපි ගෙවන්න තීරණයක් කරලා නැහැ.
We have not decided to make any payment. Taisei Corporation has made a request. It has now been proven that the estimate prepared for the Southern Expressway by the Rajapaksas is wrong. There is a charge for that. We have not agreed to that payment as the ministry. 3 days ago, I called on the Japanese ambassador and made a request. I was told there is a process that corporation can make a request, but a decision will be made by a committee after it conducts a transparent review. If it is a reasonable request, it will be met. If not, it will be rejected.
සොයලා බලලා විනිවිදභාවයෙන් බලලා තමයි තීන්දුවක් දෙන්නේ. සමහර විට ඒක සාධාරණ ඉල්ලීමක් නම් සාකච්ඡා කරන්න වෙයි නැත්නම් අපි ප්‍රතික්ෂේප කරනවා.
On the 2nd of this month, former Minister Ravi Karunanayake said when he was serving as finance minister, the request for this late fee was rejected.
I don't know. During our time, there was a demand. It was unreasonable, so we rejected it. I do not know whether a situation has arisen where we have to pay it, but the charge on the delay was completely due to them, so there was no need to pay. There is no need to worry about it.
Minister Kabir Hashim commented on the statements made by Ravi Karunanayake.
ඇමතුමා දින 100 කාලය තුලත් ක්‍රියාත්මක වන කාලය තුලත් මේ ඉල්ලීම කරලා තිබුණා. ඒතකොට මුදල් අමාත්‍ය හිටියේ රවි කරුණානායක මහත්තයා. එතුමා ඒ කාලයක ප්‍රතික්ෂේප කරලා තිබුණා.
එතුමා ප්‍රතික්ෂේප කරලා තිබුණා.
If he has rejected it and if it was made on the correct system, it will remain as it is.
තීන්දුවම දිගටම
Minister Manu Ganeshan, speaking at the Tamil Day celebrations at the Sri Sumangala Balika Vidyalaya in Panadura, commented on the present political landscape.
Do not hand over the task of building the country over to the 225 people in Parliament. Out of the 225 in Parliament, except for the 50 members, all the others are not suitable to be in Parliament. I do not mind if they get angry with me. I must speak the truth. The unsuitable remain in Parliament like those who stay under a roof during the rainy weather. There are many outside the Parliament who could wear the title of MP with pride. They do not want to go to Parliament under this present election system where votes have to be secured through a struggle. There are many who have the heart and the talent outside the Parliament.
Well, now, yesterday we at Newsfirst reported a story from Anuradhapura where a father of 3 who assaulted a gang who had attempted to sexually harass his daughter was murdered. Parliamentarian Bimal Veeravansa expressed his views on the incident at an event held in Hambantota today.
Yesterday in Anuradhapura, we heard that a father and son had attacked an individual after he tried to sexually harass a girl by undressing her at a wedding ceremony. Later, an underworld gang had threatened the father and son that their head and hands will be chopped off. Who is behind these underworld groups? For whom did they work during the previous election? Did they work for Harry's son or the sun which shines in the sky? The reason I said both these words is because one might not know whether it's the son of a father or the sun in the sky. He is the one who maintained his underworld gang. Now they are threatening to kill the son as well. No one has been arrested as yet. Also, it is this gang which hosts parties for the police.
Still in news in the political sphere this evening, UPFA parliamentarian Chandama Veerakode convened a media briefing in Galle today.
At a time where the economy is at turmoil, the main motive of the country must be to uplift the economy. But there is no harm in imposing taxes on the individuals who are financially stable. Just have a look at the number of businesses which are being shut down. Taxes must be imposed when the people are at a stable situation and not at turbulent times.
Still in news, you're at home now. Education Minister Viraj Karivasam says the final decision on the proposal for the provision of tab computers for advanced level students will be made by the Committee of Specialists. The minister made this remark while speaking to the media following an event in Kandy.
It was on the 19th of February that the proposal for the provision of tab computers for advanced level students was presented to Cabinet for the very first time. The President, who was attentive to this proposal, called on for the proposal to be halted and instructed for it to be studied further. The proposal was reintroduced to Cabinet recently. However, a situation was reported in Cabinet when it was presented. The reason being, rather than acting on the instructions of the President, the Minister of Education had resubmitted the original Cabinet paper without making any change. However, this Cabinet paper proposes to select the bid with the third lowest quoted prices rather than selecting the bid for the lowest prices. This can be viewed as a waste of 1.2 billion rupees or 1,200 million rupees. The argument put forward to select the highest quoted price contradicts the recommendations that have been made, and these relate to the health aspect and the durability.
There were various views over the provision of tab computers. At the Cabinet meeting, an opportunity was given to reach a decision via the committee, which will have 2 representatives each from the President and Prime Minister, as well as 2 representatives from my ministry.
However, the minister was not responding to the question posed by our correspondent. Was a proper examination carried out on the products put forward by the suppliers as per the recommendations made?
Everything is being handled and there is no issue. We have reached a decision taking into account the health aspects as well. We have presented the best solution that is available. I do not have the respective TC report, yet all matters were handled based on the TEC recommendation. You need not panic on this. We are not prepared to counter the argument put forward by the suppliers. We have done a clean job. We are also not prepared to respond to questions posed by the media simply because someone did not get the bid.
Though the minister responded in such a manner, the officer, who was a member of the technical committee representing the Ministry of Telecommunication and Digital Infrastructure, had not placed his signature on the test report, which relates to the safety aspect and the durability of a digital device. However, the President had directed the attention of the Education Minister on 7 separate matters. These include the consideration of the recommendations made by the Finance Minister, the need to introduce computer technology to all schools, and raise awareness among teachers and parents on security features. Why did the Education Minister resubmit the Cabinet paper without focusing on any of the above-mentioned recommendations? Was the President compelled to remind the Minister of Education of these matters because he is unable to follow a simple instruction? Or is it because he had forgotten about it?
Well, with that, we move on to news from the President's diary this evening. President Maithripala presided over the inauguration of the Disaster Preparedness Program in Anuradhapura today. The objective of this program was to minimize the risk of floods which is experienced following the Malvat Oya breaking its banks.
Under this program, the sediment in the bottom of the Malvat Oya will be removed with the assistance of the Tri-Armed Forces personnel and members of the Civil Security Department. In addition, the program aims at strengthening the banks, cleaning the waterways and canals, removing of silt and the construction of sidewalls to prevent flooding. The program will be supervised by the Ministry of Disaster Management. President Maithripala declared open the head office building of the North Central Province Road Passenger Transport Authority today. The building was constructed using financial allocations made by the North Central Provincial Council with the objective of providing a more efficient service. The President engaged in an inspection tour after unveiling the commemorative plaque. General Manager of the Road Passenger Transport Authority of the NCP, Veera Vijayagunasekara, presented a memento to the President. A special puja to invoke blessings on the government, security forces and the citizens took place at the Jayashri Mahabodhi today. The puja was performed keeping with the ancient tradition that dates back to the time of the kings. The President called on the Atamasthanaadhipati, Venerable Pallegama Srinivasa Thero, and obtained blessings as well.
The SLFP Balaban for Baddegama was launched at the Baddegama Urban Council premises today.
Kurunagala District Parliament Mantri Mahinda Rajapaksa Mattuma.
Kurunagala District Parliamentarian Mahinda Rajapaksa formed the Flowerbud Party. This is the root cause for our destruction. It was the Flowerbud that stole away our votes. At the motion of no confidence, 54 of the joint opposition signed it, while only 4 from our side signed it. I too signed it. It was done to defeat Ranil Wickremesinghe, send him home and make Maithripala the Prime Minister. On the final day, S.B. Disanayake and Lanka met the President and said 13 of their group will not be there. We told no to those who called us from the UNP. We told the same to the other parties and we will suffer a defeat. We are prepared to bring a motion of no confidence against Ranil in Parliament in the future. The UNP is our common enemy. We did not think like that of the Flowerbud of GL Paris. But we will have to change our minds about it now. There were opinions and disagreements in the party. There were those who broke away from the party, yet the party was never left idle. The issue we face now is not something new to us. Those who broke away from the party are reprimanding the party and the party leadership. They even work against us. However, as time passed by, many returned to the party. Some moved to the opposition. Some have bid farewell to politics as well.
Minister Field Marshal Sarak Fonseca today responded to questions posed by journalists regarding the celebrations which took place in the north recently.
If the celebration saw the display of the LTTE symbol, the arrest must be made immediately. There is no need to wait until it is reported in the media. If it cannot be done, then it will be impossible to maintain law and order in the area. If such acts are permitted to continue, the government will have to take the blame for that. There is a shortcoming in that aspect. There are those who are accountable to security and the law. They must take up the responsibility. As a citizen of the country, my responsibility is law and order, but I don't have that. There are those who are responsible for that. As you said, if there is a threat to national security, as a citizen, I will stand up against that.
An incident where school children were inhumanly beaten by the principals is reported from a school in Dunakadeniya in Kuliyapitia.
On the 5th of July, the principal of the school had conducted an extra class for the students who will be facing this year's Grade 5 scholarship examination. However, the principal had punished several students due to their unruly behavior during the period of these extra classes. According to what the students say, the principal had beaten the students and one of them is being treated at the Marshal hospital. The Kuliyapitia Zonal Education Office has already launched a special investigation over this incident.
I am speaking to you since there is an issue. I could have stayed back. When such an incident takes place, the Ministry of Education would launch a primary investigation. If it is proven that a wrongdoing has been done, he will be subject to a punishment. This is the action taken by the ministry.
Up next is Voice of the People.
Voice of the People. News from across the nation, reported by Newsfirst regional correspondents.
This is the historic Panama River in Ampara. Usually the water from the river is used to cultivate around 1,000 acres of paddy land. However, as the Weber had dried up, farmers are facing severe difficulties. According to them, the Weber has not been renovated for decades and water does not remain as the banks had broken off.
We've been making requests for many years, but they have failed to renovate this Weber. If it was renovated, we could retain the water and use it for the cultivations.
The farmers claim if the Weber is renovated immediately, they would be able to obtain water for cultivations during both the Yala and Maha seasons without any difficulty. This concrete bridge constructed in the Godapotta area between the Pathok Weber and the Berevila Road in Madhurigiriya has been in a dilapidated state for many years. According to locals, it has not been renovated for more than 15 years. As a temporary measure, logs have been placed on the bridge, but this too has posed many dangers.
6 months after the bridge was constructed, it collapsed. The main issue was that the proper technical expertise was not used for this.
This is the walking path located along the Pera-Deniagan-Noro road. Sadly, due to the lack of proper maintenance, the walking path and the area surrounding it is piled up with litter. News First contacted the chairman of the Yatinura Pradesh Sabha, Nishant Rupasara, over the matter.
We have held discussions with the Urban Development Authority to develop this walking path together with sanitary facilities.
Voice of the people. News from across the nation, reported by Newsfirst regional correspondents.
A group of fishermen staged a protest in the Varale area in Hikadua, obstructing the Colombo-Gaul main road in the Totagamo junction.
Seven fishermen who had set off to sea on the 14th of June from the Gaul harbour are reported missing. Our correspondent said the protest was to urge the authorities to locate the missing fishermen. Later, the police arrived and dispersed the crowd. However, moments later, the protesters moved to the Totagamo junction and obstructed the flow of traffic. The Sindur 2 vessel has been missing for 20 days. We have not received any information from them. If the authorities do not provide a solution to this matter, we will continuously obstruct the Colombo-Gaul main road. There is technology that can be used to locate fishing boats. Fishermen from Totagamo Telwatta in Hikadu are missing after setting off to sea from the Gaul harbour. They made their last contact with the land tower on the 29th of June. Relatives charged, though they informed the authorities on a number of occasions to locate the fishermen, their pleas had fallen on deaf ears.
A lone wild elephant that was roaming in the Dimbulgamu area in Matale for several weeks was tranquilized and captured today. The wildlife elephant is to be moved to the Horopatane Elephant Sanctuary tomorrow.
The wild elephant, dubbed Nattakota by the locals, was seen roaming in the Matale area for several weeks. It was captured by wildlife officers this morning following an operation that lasted several days. Two people lost their lives following an attack by this pachyderm several weeks ago. This morning, the wildlife officers and veterinarians launched an operation to tranquilize the elephant and thereafter capture it.
An event to commemorate the 154th birth anniversary of Anuradhapura was held at the Swarna Jayanti Eye Hospital in Kadawatha today. A program to conduct contract surgery and distribution of eye lenses was also held.
The event was organized under the guidance of Venerable Banagala Upati Sotero by the Yoshida Foundation, Mahabodhi Society of Sri Lanka, Security Force Headquarters Jaffna and District 306 B2 Lions Club. Our correspondent said cataract surgery was performed and eye lenses were distributed to 36 people in the Jaffna district. On the 18th of September, to mark the birth anniversary of Anuradhapura, a new institution will be established in the Jaffna town, which will provide medicine and eye care treatment. We have already received the required land for this purpose. We hope we will get the support for this initiative for the people of Jaffna in the long run.
The chief economist of the World Bank Group, speaking at an event in Colombo yesterday, commented on how people could overcome government failures.
You know, you've got these special interest groups. You've got the politicians, you've got the teachers' unions, you've got the medical unions, all of these groups that are benefiting from the current status quo. But there's a large number of people who are losing, particularly the poor. In fact, the poor vote in much larger numbers than the rich. So if there's some way in which we can harness the power of numbers of the poor to demand what is their due. I mean, they're the ones that public policy is supposed to help, but they're the ones that public policy is hurting right now. If we can get them in a position where they can demand from the politicians what is their due, we might be able to bring about change. Now, why isn't that happening? I mean, why aren't they demanding their due? And I think there are lots of reasons, but one of them is actually that people don't necessarily vote along public policy lines when it comes to elections. Now, if the politician knows that, then the politician has very little incentive to deliver public goods. They just curry favor with their own ethnic group, usually providing them with private goods. I mean, it's very interesting. You know, there's a lot of evidence that politicians who provide roads tend to win elections, and politicians who provide good education or good health care lose elections. And one reason for that is roads provides jobs to that particular group living in that neighborhood. And the point is that if people don't expect anything more than just a temporary job from the politician, then they will vote for him for providing that job, even though the kids aren't getting educated and the children are dying from poor water. I think getting information to poor people might be one of the most powerful ways of overcoming the government failures that are standing in the way of them.
Time for more local stories in brief.
The Bowser had veered off the road in the Gonadua area along the Kalutura Bandaragama main road and crashed on a high-voltage electricity post. Our correspondent reported the accident had taken place around 4 this morning, and it is believed the driver had fallen asleep at the wheel. The supply of electricity to the area was disrupted following the accident, and according to our correspondent, more than 1,000 families in Panadura, Bandaragama and Vadiamankada are without electricity. Spokesperson for the Ministry of Power and Renewable Energy, Sulakshana Jayawardena, said the restoration process is in place. 2 shops in Main Street, Peta, were ablaze this morning. Police said the fire spread to adjacent shops as well. Police said the fire was doused with the assistance of the CMC Fire Brigade and the Sri Lanka Navy. No casualties were reported from the incident. Police are yet to ascertain the cause of the fire.
And in news from home, the EVA All-Ireland Open Netball Tournament commenced today.
Organised by the Western Province Netball Association, the tournament took place at the Sri Lanka Air Force grounds in Colombo. Over 145 clubs and school teams are competing in this tournament. The tournament for schools is worked off under 3 categories, while the Open tournament is worked off under 2 categories. The first round games took place today and the tournament will conclude tomorrow.
Going back to news overseas, flooding and landslides have killed at least 38 people and left dozens missing in western areas of Japan. You could catch the complete story on our award-winning website, that is www.newsfirst.lk. With that, we wrap the news for tonight. Thank you for stopping by. I'm Joel Outspoon. Good night.